All right, so get ready, because today we are diving deep into computer science careers. And we've got some seriously cool resources here. I mean, they're going to blow your mind with all the different types of jobs. And the salaries, pretty impressive. So
hmm
if you're thinking about a CS degree, or maybe you want to switch careers, or maybe you just love knowing about the latest tech, this deep dive is for you.
Yeah, it's fascinating how computer science has gone way beyond just coding these days. It's about problem solving,
Yeah.
real world problems. I mean, we're talking self-driving cars. We're talking about predicting what customers are going to do next. It's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, and our sources define computer science as this really cool blend of like theoretical concepts and then practical problem solving. It's like using your brain power to tackle these big real-world challenges. And technology is your toolkit.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The need for people with these skills is just going up. One of our sources mentioned that employment in computer and information technology, it's going to grow like 15% between 2021 and 2031. And that's way faster than like the average job. It's a big deal.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so let's jump into some of these specific career paths.
Yeah.
Our sources talk about 6 common ones. I have to say I'm getting kind of excited just reading these descriptions. First up, the classic software developer.
Yeah, the architects of the digital world. What's really cool about this is you can do so many different things. Like one of our sources talked about this software developer, Sarah, and she went from building mobile games to working on the software that controls robotic arms in factories. Talk about range.
That's incredible. I mean, from entertainment to like cutting-edge industrial applications,
Yeah.
it shows you how big this role really is. So basically, software developers take those big ideas and they make them real right. They figure out what people need. They design the software. They write the code. They test it, troubleshoot it. They're like the superheroes behind everything we do online and on our devices.
I know, right? And like Sarah's story shows, being a software developer isn't just one thing. You could specialize in web development, mobile apps, game development, data science. So many possibilities. And to give you an idea of how in demand they are, one source said their median salary was over $120,000 in 2022.
Wow, that's serious earning potential.
hmm
But I guess it makes sense since we rely on software for pretty much everything these days. Speaking of skills, our sources say software developers need to know programming languages like Python, .java, C++, .javascript. And they also need to be good at using version control systems like Git, which is important when you're working on big projects with other people.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's not just about the tech skills. You need to be able to communicate well, solve problems. You're always working in teams with designers, project managers, and other developers. So being able to explain your ideas clearly and work well with others is super important.
Collaboration is key. Okay, so that's software development. Next up, we have data scientist. If you love numbers and finding patterns, this one's for you.
Yeah, the data detectives. These are the people who go deep into these massive data sets and they find these hidden insights and trends. And that can help businesses make smarter decisions. Our source material talked about this case study where a team of data scientists at this big retailer, they used customer data and they predicted what people were going to buy in the future. And that helped them manage their inventory better, which meant less waste and more profit.
Wow, that's a perfect example of how data science can have a real impact on a business. So if you like the idea of finding those hidden patterns and turning data into something useful, this might be the path for you. But our sources emphasize the need for strong analytical skills,
Yeah.
statistical skills,
Mhm.
and also you need to know programming languages like Python and R, which are specifically designed for data analysis and visualization.
Right. And you also need to know specific libraries and tools like pandas and scikit-learn. They're super widely used for things like data manipulation, machine learning, statistical modeling.
So if you're interested in this field, definitely brush up on your Python skills and explore those libraries. Oh, and the earning potential. Our sources say the median salary for data scientists is well over $100,000, and it keeps going up as the need for data-driven decision-making increases.
Yeah, it's a hot field for sure. And it's only going to get hotter as we keep generating more and more data. Okay, ready for our next deep dive? This one's for all the thriller fans out there. Cybersecurity.
Okay, bring on the intrigue. I'm already picturing those hacker movies. So break it down for us. What exactly do cybersecurity analysts do?
Well, they're like the digital guardians, the protectors of our data and systems. They monitor networks for any suspicious activity, they investigate security breaches, develop security protocols, and they work really hard to stay ahead of the cybercriminals. It's a high-stakes field, and it's always changing as new threats pop up.
It does sound intense.
Oh,
And given how much we rely on technology, it makes sense that cybersecurity is such a crucial field, and it's in high demand. In fact, one of our sources said that the global cybersecurity market is expected to reach over $370 billion by 2028.
That's right. And that means we're going to need a lot of skilled people to fill all those roles. Our sources say it's really important to understand security concepts like cryptography, firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and ethical hacking.
Ethical hacking. So they're basically using hacking skills for good.
Yeah, exactly. Ethical hackers are the good guys. They use their knowledge of hacking to test systems, they identify weaknesses, and they help organizations strengthen their defenses. It's a really important part of preventing cyber attacks and protecting sensitive information.
That's so fascinating. It's like being a digital detective. But instead of solving crimes, you're preventing them. So what skills do you need to get into this field?
Well, a strong foundation in networking is essential, as is knowledge of operating systems like Linux and Windows. Knowing scripting languages like Python is also really valuable for automating tasks and developing security tools. And of course, a deep understanding of security principles and best practices is crucial.
It sounds like a challenging but rewarding career path, especially for those who love technology and are good at solving problems. And the earning potential in cybersecurity is impressive. One of our sources mentioned that the median salary for cybersecurity analysts is over $100,000 per year, with the potential to earn even more with experience and certifications.
Absolutely. And because cybersecurity professionals are in such high demand, those salaries are likely to go up even more in the future. All right, ready to change gears a bit. Let's talk about a career that combines technical expertise with communication and problem solving. The IT consultant.
IT consultants, so we're going from protecting systems to optimizing them. I'm intrigued.
Exactly. IT consultants are like the bridge between technology and business. They work with clients to analyze their IT systems, recommend improvements, manage technology projects, and they make sure the technology aligns with the client's business goals.
Sounds like a role that requires a mix of technical knowledge and people skills. You need to understand both the language of technology and the language of business. Our sources say that for IT consultants, communication skills, problem-solving abilities, and project management experience are really important.
That's right. They need to be able to communicate complex tech stuff to people who aren't techie. They need to work well in teams, and they need to manage projects efficiently.
So it's a good option for people who like solving problems, working with others, and helping businesses use technology to achieve their goals. And according to our sources, the median salary for IT consultants is around $90,000 a year. And you can earn more as you get experience and specialize in specific industries or technologies. All right, ready for our next deep dive. This one's for all the gamers out there. Game development.
Ah, yes. The dream job for many. Game developers are the creative masterminds. They bring those immersive digital worlds to life. They combine storytelling, artistry, and technical skills to create the games we all love to play.
It does sound like a fun and challenging field. And our sources highlight the growth of the gaming industry. They say that the global gaming market is expected to reach over $300 billion by 2027. That's huge.
It is. And all that growth means we need skilled game developers. So if you've ever dreamed of creating your own video game, now is the perfect time to explore this career path.
Okay, so let's break down what it takes to be a game developer. Our sources say that it's really important to master game engines, like Unity and Unreal Engine. They're powerful tools for building complex and amazing-looking games.
Right. And you also need to be good at programming languages like C++, C#, and Lua.
So strong coding skills are a must-have. But it's not all about the technical side, right? Game developers also need to be creative storytellers, problem solvers, and team players.
Oh, absolutely. You're collaborating with artists, designers,
Sure.
sound engineers, and other developers to make the game come to life. It's a very collaborative and creative process.
It sounds like a dream job for anyone who loves gaming and has a passion for creating. And according to our sources, the median salary for game developers is around $80,000 per year. And you can earn more in senior roles or with specialized skills. All right, ready for our final deep dive in this part of our exploration. This one's cutting edge and changing rapidly, machine learning engineering.
This is a field that's really at the forefront of innovation. Machine learning engineers build and train intelligent systems. These systems can learn from data, and they can do tasks that would normally need a human.
So we're talking about things like image recognition, natural language processing, self-driving cars. The stuff that used to be science fiction is now becoming reality.
Exactly. And machine learning can be used in so many different areas. Healthcare, finance, robotics, transportation. It's ready to change a ton of industries.
Okay, so what does it take to become a machine learning engineer? Our sources emphasize the need for advanced programming skills, especially in Python, which is like the main language for machine learning.
Right. And you need to know machine learning libraries like TensorFlow and PyTorch. They give you the tools and algorithms you need to build and train those machine learning models.
So having a strong understanding of math and statistics is really important too.
Absolutely. Machine learning uses a lot of math, like
Yeah.
linear algebra,
Oh,
calculus, and probability.
it sounds challenging, but also really rewarding, especially if you're into AI and its potential. And the earning potential is really impressive. Our sources say that the median salary for machine learning engineers is well over $150,000 a year, which makes it one of the highest paying tech careers.
It's a field that's in high demand. And as we find more uses for machine learning, that demand is only going to go up.
Wow, what a whirlwind tour of just some of the amazing careers in computer science.
And remember, those are just a few examples. The field is incredibly diverse and constantly evolving. There are so many more specialized roles out there.
It's so inspiring to see how computer science is changing our world and how it's creating so many opportunities for people with the skills and the passion. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a break.
Me too.
We'll be back soon with part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll go into some advice for anyone thinking about a computer science career. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of computer science careers.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about all those amazing paths we talked about. From software developers making the apps we use, to data scientists digging into all that data, to cybersecurity analysts keeping us safe online. It's incredible how much computer science impacts our lives.
It really is. And remember, we just scratched the surface. There are so many more areas within computer science, and new ones are popping up all the time.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening,
Yeah.
and they're thinking, this is awesome, but how do I even get started? What advice would you give someone who's interested in a computer science career?
That's a great question. First of all, don't be intimidated by all the technical stuff. Computer science can seem complicated at first, but it's a field that's open to learners at all levels.
That's good to hear. I think a lot of people think you need to be like a math whiz or a coding genius to even think about CS.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. A strong foundation in math and logic definitely helps. But what really matters is curiosity, a willingness to learn, and a passion for solving problems. Those are the ingredients for a successful computer science career.
I love that. So it's more about mindset than some natural talent.
Exactly. Computer science is all about breaking down those big, complex problems into smaller steps, and then using your creativity and logic to find the answers. And the best part is, there are tons of resources out there to help you.
Sure, we have online courses, coding boot camps, even free stuff like YouTube tutorials and open source projects.
I know, right? And don't forget about the power of community. There are amazing online forums, communities, meetups. You can connect with other learners, ask questions, get support. You can even work on projects together. Learning with others makes it more fun and rewarding.
So find your people and code together. Makes sense. Now let's say someone's already on the CS path. Maybe they're in college or a coding boot camp. What advice would you give them to stand out in such a competitive field?
Now that's where things get interesting. Besides those basic technical skills, there are a few things that can really make a difference. First, specialize.
Specialize, like focus on a specific area within computer science.
Exactly, whether it's web development, data science, cybersecurity, game development, find something you're really interested in and go deep, become an expert in that niche.
So it's about going beyond being a jack of all trades and really honing your skills in one specific area.
Yes, not only will this make you more appealing to employers, but it also lets you really understand and love what you're doing. Remember, passion is contagious. When you're excited about your work, it shows, and it sets you apart.
Passion is definitely a superpower. Okay, so besides specializing, what other advice do you have for aspiring CS professionals?
Build an amazing portfolio. This is super important for roles like software development, web development, and game development. Think of it as your personal highlight reel, showing off your skills to potential employers.
A portfolio, like a collection of projects that show what you can do.
Precisely. It could include your own coding projects, stuff you've done on open source software, even freelance work. It lets you go beyond just your resume and give actual proof of what you can do.
So it's not just what's on paper, it's about showing what you can bring to the table.
That's the key. A portfolio shows your creativity, problem-solving skills, and your passion for what you do.
And speaking of passion, I think it's so important to stay curious and keep learning. The tech world changes so fast, so it's crucial to embrace lifelong learning.
I couldn't agree more. If you stop learning in this field, you'll fall behind. Make it a habit to read industry blogs, go to conferences, play around with new technologies, never stop exploring. That's what keeps you relevant and on top of your game.
So it's about having that growth mindset and being open to new ideas and challenges.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to try new things, even if they make you uncomfortable. You never know where you'll find inspiration. The most successful people in tech are often the ones who are adaptable and eager to learn.
So specialize, build a portfolio, stay curious, and keep learning. Those are some great pieces of advice.
And one more thing, don't underestimate networking. Connecting with other people in the field can lead to opportunities you never expected.
Networking. That's a good one. I think a lot of people, especially those new to tech, can feel intimidated by networking.
I understand that. But networking doesn't have to be scary. It's just about building relationships with people who have similar interests. Go to industry events, join online communities, reach out to people on LinkedIn. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to share their experiences and help you out.
So be brave, reach out, and connect. What's the worst that could happen? You might make a friend, learn something new, or even find your dream job.
Exactly. Networking is all about building those mutually beneficial relationships. The more connections you make, the wider your network becomes, and the more opportunities you'll have.
We've talked about a lot, from what computer science is all about, to advice for anyone thinking about a career in this field.
Yeah, we have. But before we move on, I want to emphasize something really important. Soft skills.
Soft skills, you mean things like communication, teamwork, problem solving.
Exactly. Those technical skills are super important, but soft skills are just as important, especially as you move up in your career.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, even the best coder in the world needs to be able to explain their ideas, work with others, and handle the ups and downs of a job.
Exactly. Employers are really looking for people who have both. Technical skills and soft skills, good communication skills,
Yeah.
emotional intelligence, and the ability to work well in teams. Those are the things you need to thrive in today's tech world.
So it's not just about being a coding whiz. It's about being a well-rounded person who can be a good team member.
That's it. In tech, soft skills aren't just a bonus anymore. They're essential for success.
So for all the future computer scientists out there, don't forget those soft skills. Work on your communication, your teamwork, your emotional intelligence. These skills will make you a better employee and a more well-rounded and successful person.
Absolutely. Remember, your technical skills might get you the job, but your soft skills will help you do great in your career and maybe even become a leader in your field.
Okay, that was packed with info and advice. I'm feeling inspired. I hope our listeners are too. But wait, there's more. We've got one more part of this deep dive coming up. We're going to talk about some of the challenges of working in computer science.
Yeah, it's all about looking at the whole picture. Computer science can do amazing things, but we need to be aware of the potential downsides and how to approach them responsibly.
I'm ready to unpack those complexities. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking about all these awesome computer science careers, like building the software we use every day, analyzing data, and even protecting ourselves online.
Yeah, it's been a journey exploring all the possibilities. We've talked about the skills you need, the different paths you can take, and how computer science is shaping the world.
But every field has its challenges. So in this last part of our deep dive, we're going to talk about some of the tougher questions, the stuff you might not see in those shiny tech brochures.
Yeah, it's good to look at the whole picture, right? I mean, computer science can do so much good, but it also comes with responsibility, and we have to be aware of the potential downsides.
Okay, let's get into it. One thing we hear a lot about is automation and how it's going to affect jobs. Robots taking over and all that. It can be a little scary.
I get it. It's true that automation is changing things, and some jobs are going away as technology gets better, but automation also creates new jobs, new opportunities. One of our sources, a report from the World Economic Forum, actually says that while automation might replace like 85 million jobs globally by 2025, it's also going to create 97 million new ones.
So it's not just a simple case of robots taking over.
No, not at all. It's more complicated than that. Sure, some tasks that people used to do are being automated, but this often lets people focus on more interesting things, things that require creativity and critical thinking.
So it's about adapting and learning new things as technology changes, instead of being afraid of it.
Exactly. One of our sources interviewed a graphic designer, and she was worried about AI tools taking her job, but she learned to use them to her advantage. She used them to automate those boring, repetitive tasks, and that freed up her time to focus on the creative stuff. And you know what? Her skills became even more valuable, and she got to work on more challenging and interesting projects.
That's a perfect example of how using new technology can actually help your career. The key is to be willing to learn and adapt.
I completely agree. The future belongs to those who are adaptable, curious, and ready for change.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about data privacy. Feels like every day we hear about another data breach or some company misusing our information.
Ah,
It's hard to know who to trust these days.
I know. Data privacy is so important. We should all be concerned about it. Our lives are so digital now, and we create so much data about ourselves. It's crucial that this data is handled responsibly and ethically.
So what can we do to protect our own data?
Well, be careful about what you share online. Read those privacy policies before you sign up for anything. Use strong passwords. And turn on two-factor authentication whenever you can.
Oh.
And watch out for phishing scams and other ways people try to steal your information. One of our sources, a cybersecurity expert, recommends using a password manager. That way you can create and store strong, unique passwords for all your accounts.
So it's about taking control of our own digital footprint.
Exactly. And if you're working in computer science, you have an even bigger responsibility to handle data ethically. One of our sources talked about a software developer who built an app that collected user data. He went out of his way to implement strong privacy protections, so users had control over their data. And he was transparent about how he was using it. It took extra work, but he felt it was the right thing to do.
So if you're building something that collects user data, like a website or an app, you need to think about privacy right from the start.
Yes, absolutely. Privacy should be part of the design process. It's not just about following the rules. It's about respecting your users and building trust.
That's a great point. Trust is so important online.
It really is. And the more we can do to protect privacy and build trust, the more we can unlock the potential of technology while minimizing the risks.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into computer science careers, it's clear that it's not just about technical skills, it's about responsibility. Being aware of the potential downsides and using your knowledge to make ethical choices.
It's about using what we know to create a better future for everyone.
That's a great way to put it. So to all the future computer scientists out there, be curious, build your skills,
Yeah.
but always remember the impact of your work. The future is in your hands.
And remember, you never stop learning. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the limits of what's possible with computer science.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Deep Dive.